Hey guys, Fee here. Today I'm going to be going into Venomous Spines of Death. I have completed this trial in the past, however this is a trial that a lot of people still struggle with. Personally I found it much harder than any other trial we have up to date, including Omega. Omega, in comparison, I found a lot easier than Marlboro 2. Actually, before I had Demon Rain, I had tried this multiple times, and I just could not do it. It was just not possible for me. I had a 100% evade Warrior of Light in place of him, and he just wasn't doing the job. That's not necessarily meaning that you can't do it with a Warrior of Light. It might be possible. I just found that I couldn't personally do it until I had Demon Rain, and that's when things started going a lot smoother for me in this trial. I required still a few more times to beat it because of RNG, because this is, I find, a very RNG heavy fight. A lot of things have to go right for you. But anyways, so this is the team I used to defeat it the first time, so I thought I'd go through again just to show you guys how it's done. So here I've got Awakened Rain, 7-star Awakened Rain. I've equipped him with a lot of elemental resist, some, not the best spirit, he can go higher than that, but again with a lot of elemental resist. He's got a safety bit on to bait death, because this Marlboro does do instant death. He is equipped to deal with status conditions, because he will be my prime status protector in this fight, so if he gets statused, that's not great. I have Lid here, with Phoenix as her Esper, Mighty Hammer and a Thor's Hammer, and just some, LB boosting equipment, because her LB is really good. Dual wielding, attack boosted, because why not, and Calamity Border. Calamity Border is important for survival purposes, just to buff you up, protect you from any lasers to the face, any fire or ice lasers that your units might have to take. Fina here is equipped with her hairpin to protect from statuses, a Facade of Balance to increase her LB, and then Staff Mastery, Miracle Step, Mentality. What you can also do is swap out the Miracle Step or the Mentality for Burst. I've done that too. It's fine either way. You will be getting more re-raises off of Limit Burst, so I might recommend that over the extra spirit, just because you were really going to be relying on re-raise for safety in this fight. Here I've got Demon Rain. He's equipped for 100% evasion, and with a Flaming Blade Agni. And then I have Hyoh, and Hyoh is equipped like Hyohs are, with just martial gloves, flaming blade, Hyoh's clothes, scanning goggles for plant killer, just anything you have really to equip your Hyoh to make him powerful, put that on. So that's what I used. A team in this can always benefit from more status resist. I don't happen to have enough status resisting or preventing gear for all these units, so I couldn't rely on that, which means that I really needed to make sure Awakened Rain was alive all the time, because he needed to keep Purification up and running, or people will get status, and that's really bad. Because it causes a snowball effect where Fina has to be healing people, and then they can't be doing their jobs because they're confused, or they're petrified, or it just kind of is not something you want to be dealing with in this fight. But yeah, this is it, so I'm gonna go in, and we'll see how we fare. This is the Great Marlborough, and I'm going to be wanting to protect everyone from physical damage. I'm going to Manatopia with Fina because Hyohs are mana hungry, and the faster you try to keep up their mana, the better. Later's going to Magic Absorb because I don't really have to worry too much about physical attacks because of Demon Rain, but I am going to have to be worrying about magical damage. So that's just to make sure its blows are not too powerful. Rain is going to Purify because we definitely do not want to be saddest. And Hyoh is just gonna Flame and Servant. And here we go. Okay, so as you see, we're not dealing a lot of damage because it's just gonna be how it is. This Marlborough has a lot of health, high defenses. But at least Rain is gonna help because he's gonna be countering a lot. And when Rain is countering so much, it's a good thing because he can make the Marlborough bleed kind of Esper Orbs and Limit Crystals, and we want both those things. Both of those things are good. We're gonna stand out with Rain now because we want Rain to be taking the brunt of these lasers. We don't want Demon Rain to be getting smashed in the face every turn with those lasers. It's not good. Lid is going to Calamity Border this turn. It's just going to buff everyone's defense and spirit and just protect them from any stray lasers coming their way or any AoE damage. We want the Hyohs, of course, to just keep dealing damage. Fina is going to re-raise herself, and she's going to re-raise Demon Rain. And this is just important. We want Fina to be able to keep people alive. So that's just what we're going to start doing here. And now, yep, Demon Rain is just going to be countering a lot every turn, which is going to be very helpful to us for getting the limit bursts we need and the Espers that we need for the achievement. So here I'm actually going to have Rain stand out again because I want a specific pattern for him. I want him to be standing out on odd turns and protecting people from ailments on even turns or just spectral fielding, so he's also doing counters along with Rain. The reason for this is that there's not really danger of getting status except on odd turns. The Marlborough doesn't do that except on odd turns. Or sorry, on even turns. So it's just easier to keep your timing based around what the Marlborough is doing. If you Purify on turn 2, it's actually better, because if you Purify on turn 2, your protection's gonna last longer. It just works better. Demon is just gonna defend just to draw. He's not gonna defend it. He's gonna neither Aegis. And he would have been able to keep that up for a third turn, but it's not. I just want to make sure that he's always protecting people from physical damage, because that's very important. And here I'm going to be re-raising Rain and Lid, just to make sure that they're okay. They're not going to get hurt. And Hyohs, of course, are just going to keep doing what they do best, and that's smashing enemy facing. So with Demon Ring here, we're getting a lot more limit burst crystals, and we're filling up that Esper gauge pretty quickly. So this is why Demon Ring helps a lot. So here we're going to be purifying, like I said, even turn, purify. Rain here has Demon Rain here has a few options. He can either ignite, just give a little attack boost for those Hyohs, or he can entrust. And right now we don't need him to entrust, but it's very nice to have that option. Because there's gonna be times when you need Fina's limit burst because a threshold's coming up, and you're just gonna want her to be able to limit burst, and maybe she's just not quite there. Lid's gonna Calamity Border again, just make sure everyone's defenses are high. Fina here is going to use her limit burst, and the reason for that is just so that everyone has re-raise up, and because it's gonna deal a little bit more damage. So another important thing that I hadn't mentioned yet is I put Demon Rain in a further back slot than Awakened Rain. And the reason for this is because Awakened Rain can really mess up running double tanks in general can really mess up your day. If your magic tank decides to throw himself on your physical tank will not cover everyone. And then you have to deal with a lot of physical damage that you're not really equipped to deal with because you've been expecting to not have to deal with it. And that's a big problem. It can be a big problem. And we just don't want to be dealing with things like that. So whenever possible, the way covering works is that there's a higher chance for your tanks to cover slot 1, and then slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, slot 5, and slot 6 in that order, just because of the way it checks whether it should be defending something. So if I put Demon Rain in slot 1, Awakened Rain would have a higher chance of throwing himself in front of them, and that could cause a lot of problems. That's why Awakened Rain is in slot 1 and Demon Rain is in slot 4. I hope that made a bit of sense. I feel like I kind of didn't explain that correctly, but hopefully someone can parse that and figure out what I'm trying to say. Anyways, from here, it's a lot of the same kind of stuff. Just keep to your patterns. Since Fina has put re-raise on everyone, she can Manatopia again, make sure those Hyohs are not starving for mana. You just go again. Now we've hit the threshold. That means that the Marlborough is going to use Bile instead. It's good we had re-raised because obviously one of the Hyohs died there. We want as few deaths as possible. Everyone's a little low health, so maybe Kiraga and put re-raise back on that Hyoh. Unfortunately, that Hyoh is probably going to get statused this turn. There's not really much we can do about that. It's just going to be what it is. What I'm going to do with Hyoh is Spectral Field, just so he's going to do a few counters too. I'm not going to entrust Fina yet. I'll instead just boost attack and magic. We'll Calamity Border here. And just go at it with these Hyohs. If one of your characters is getting statused, it's actually a good thing if they're petrified, and the reason for that is that Hyoh could cause a lot of problems if he's confused. But if I use something like Fina's Prime Heal instead to heal him while he's petrified, it's not going to make him do his confused action. It's just gonna heal him completely, and we won't have problems. Again, just the standard stuff. This is an odd turn, so cover with Demon Rain, stand out with Awakened Rain, use Lid's Limit Burst when applicable, if not Magic Absorb, because you're not really worrying about physical attacks, and have the Hyohs just do their thing. On even turns, of course, use your Purify, use your Calamity Border, Judgment Cross if you can, and go with your Hyohs. It's a bit of a slow process, but that's just kind of the way this Marlborough is. The next phase is a lot faster than this, provided something doesn't go horrifically wrong. If you're running low on mana, you can always Scarlet Heal with Rain. That's going to bring back some of your mana. It's just useful if you're in a bit of a bind there. So we've hit threshold. Now this is where things are going to get kind of RNG reliant. From now on, the Marlborough becomes more dangerous. Marlborough at this point can now begin to make our lives pretty miserable. This is why we have death prevention on Awakened Rain, because it does have a high chance of casting death every turn, and we want it to hit Rain, so Awakened Rain, so we're going to provoke just so that no one else is in danger here. But what it can also do, unfortunately, is cast Berserk. And getting Awakened Rain Berserked kind of sucks, because he won't be able to protect anyone from lasers, and he won't be able to keep Purify up. So there is some danger there. I'm not gonna lie, there's some real danger there. And what we do with that... Sorry. Flame Servant. Servant. What we're gonna have to do if that happens is go into a slightly different rotation, but hopefully I'm not gonna have to explain that. Hopefully that's not gonna happen and we can just continue on our merry way smashing in this Marlboro's face. We'll see what RNG gives us. Okay, so it used Swallow. That's good. That's the instant death, and it targeted Rain, so no one's in real danger right now. Everyone's safe. We can continue our pattern. And everyone is happy. Okay, so now he used Freeze Prey. There is a chance to stop when he uses Freeze Prey, but it's not high. The worst effect is that it casts Reflect. And that can be really good or really bad. Let's see who he hit with that. I believe he was targeting Fina, but Rain may have stepped in. Yeah, okay, so Rain has Reflect right now. Awakened Rain has Reflect. That's not that big of an issue because everyone's health is pretty good and Fina can limit burst. If your health is bad and you get reflected, or if you want to re-raise, just really be aware that you can get reflected and that can hit the Marlboro, and then you have a re-raising Marlboro on your hands, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants to deal with a re-raising Marlboro. It's just not something anyone in their right mind should have to deal with. So I'm going to take this turn to cast an Esper. You can kind of do this whenever. If one of your Hyohs dies and you need to revive one, it's a good time. But we don't want that to happen. It's just a convenient time. Right now I'm just going to summon one because I'm not in too much danger yet. And I need to be doing this. So again, we got good RNG. It tried to swallow Awakened Rain, and the Awakened Rain was like, no, you can't do that. And Demon Rain is going to punish him for even thinking of doing that. And in the process, give us some nice, juicy limit bursts. So right now I'm going to Spectral Field with Rain. The reason I'm doing that is just to get some counters. Maybe get a few element chains with Demon Rain. It just helps for limit burst. You don't have to do that. It's just that I don't have anything else I need to be doing with him right now. He doesn't need to be Scarlet healing anyone. No one is low on HP or mana. So it's just something you can do. You could choose to Scarlet heal too if you just want to be sure you're topped off. See, so there, Rain did something kind of not great and jumped in front of Demon Rain. That's why everyone died. But fortunately, Lotus Mage Fina made sure everyone was safe. So everything is still okay. Hyoh's limits bursts just to speed things up, so I'm kind of using them whenever possible. Again, good RNG. Tried to swallow. We're pretty lucky so far. We only had one kind of weird pattern, and it was a reflect pattern, so we're okay so far. Sure. So again, we hit a threshold, but it's not a big deal. We'll just heal up and then keep going. So the reason when I re-raise, if I have to target re-raise, the reason I choose Lotus Mage, Fina, and Demon Rain first is because they are very critical. Lotus Mage, of course, can keep healing people, can resurrect people if they die, and Demon Rain protects against physical damage, and that's really critical. That's just, if you don't have him protecting, things get really bad. You just start losing people. Awakened Rain isn't as necessary as long as you can heal him quickly, as long as you can get him back on his feet fast. It's not usually a big problem if he dies once or twice. You don't want it to happen, but if it does happen, it's not the end of the world. Hyoh's also not the end of the world, they're just doing damage. They're not doing anything like protecting people from statuses. This is a good day. I haven't had to break out the kind of backup strats yet. So that's good news. You're not having to see any scrambling. Once he starts getting down to about, oh, that's the reflect pattern. Once he starts getting about to 20%, we're gonna have to start worrying about setup for the next phase. Because the next phase is really brutal. Like, this Mulbro, he can be nasty if RNG hates you. But if RNG likes you and is being favorable, playing nice, you don't have to worry about too much as long as you've got this pattern going. I'm not in any danger this turn, so... Not that time. He did not. Oh yeah, okay, so that was my fault. I spectral fielded rather than standing out. That's why some bad things happened there. But it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I will Curaga this turn. It will heal the Marlboro a little bit, but it shouldn't be a big issue. Fina's heals aren't that strong. Oh, and the reflect didn't even last, so even better. What's really important, is that you're always purifying. That's super important. No one wants to be statused. It's not good. So from about here on out, I'm gonna want to be... Oh yikes, okay, so that was not good RNG. That was Rain deciding to jump in front of his other self. We don't want that to be happening. When that happens, it sucks. But that's why we have Fina here, to be protecting people and re-raising them, and making sure everything goes okay. And things don't just devolve into a shitstorm. But that's what I mean by RNG, like, a lot can go wrong in this battle that you don't want going wrong if you can avoid it. That's why I think re-raise is so important. As I was saying, from this point on, you're gonna want to be kind of careful about when you're gonna want to be using your limp bursts. If you don't have to use them right away, I would suggest not doing it. Fina, I do want to use right now, because everyone died, or some people died last turn, so we don't want them dying in case RNG is gonna decide to be mean to us now. And it can be mean if we're still not out of the woods yet. It's almost dead, but if that Marlboro decides to berserk now, it can still make our lives kind of painful right now. So we just want to be just doing what we're still doing, and again, being mindful of our limit bursts. Because for the queen, we are going to want to have a setup where we are very safe. Yeah, see,